Hello, it's Carla Italiano from Savannah, Georgia, and today is day 29 of our 90-day social media run. This week is all about converting. In other words, converting from a stranger to a friend to a follower from a customer to a team member, etc. And because we've learned a lot about connecting, and so it's been really fun creating brand new conversations with new people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. But at some point, we have to convert it to a lead, a potential lead, by simply asking the question without any attachment to what they say. That's part of our job, is to offer the opportunity. So this whole week is about converting. And something that we learned today that stood out to me a lot, our teacher Fraser Brooks said that the harder you qualify, the easier you close. And I was observing that even this morning as I was engaging and following up with some new connections that I'd made in the past week. In a first reach out, I think in the past I had a tendency to make it as soft as possible just because I wanted to make the connection. But what happens is, without being upfront about your intentions, it can take even longer to bring up the potential collaboration or the idea, the opportunity that you want to share, or just the ability to get together for coffee to discuss, but without a direct idea, or even if they have an interest, you can find out more up front. Then it saves a lot of time, and it's easier to just let the relationship flow in whatever way it's going to. So this morning I was messaging somebody new to say, hey, open to collaboration. I have this specific thing. It looks like it might align with you. Maybe we can work together. Instead of just saying, oh, you seem like a great person, let's connect, right? The more you qualify, the easier it is to close, the easier it is to close the sale, because we want to identify people who aren't. Also, I've heard this before, and he shared it, that professionals sort and amateurs convince, right? I think when people say, oh, I don't like sales, what they don't like is convincing. And that's what amateurs do. Professionals are out to sort, meaning we're not out to convince anyone. We're out to find the people who are looking for the solutions we have to offer, who are leaders, who want to run, and the timing is right for them. Right? The more time we spend on trying to convince, the ickier it feels. It's just not fun at all. What is golden is when you find those people that are excited, just as excited you are, and you can partner and run and create something really fun and exciting. All right. So the more that we can qualify, the more that we're willing to determine upfront, even if they're a yes or a no. And we don't determine yes or no, but how much they are really seriously interested versus just curious about what you have to say, then that's what makes it more fun and easier and a better use of your time. So what happens so far in our process, we've made a lot of content, which has allowed us to connect with new people, engage them in conversations. Oh, I met you in such and such group. I noticed your comment. Thanks for contributing to my post. Curiously, what is that about it? So you have this conversation going, and around the fifth interaction, maybe earlier, maybe later, you're asking the question. The question being, hey, Bob, just curious, would you be open to checking out some information on a game-changing way to make money on social media? No worries if not, just thought I'd ask, right? So that's the question that we're asking. And the typical process then, when they say, yes, I'm open, then we would send them a tool. A tool is usually a video, to like a link to a video, or a link to a PDF, or maybe a webinar, or something that we have in place to share with them. But then what happens typically, just going down this normal path, is that they might ghost us, or, something that I like to do that works pretty well. I say, here's a link to watch a video with more information. Just drop me a thumbs up after you're done watching, which is good, but sometimes they still ghost me. So I still have to follow up. So something to prevent the ghosting is to insert more qualifying questions. So we're going to share one today, and I believe he's going to give us more throughout the week. But after you ask the question, would you be open to take a look at this game-changing thing? And they say yes, before setting the tool, this is the script to ask. So after they say yes to opening, say, Bob, that is amazing news. This information I'm going to share with you is solid gold. You're going to love it. Before I send it over, I just want to make sure that you can watch it today, so that I can introduce you to some friends tomorrow who are crushing it. Does that sound fair? That last question is vital. Does that sound fair? Okay, so basically you're saying, that's amazing news. This information is so valuable. It's like solid gold. You're going to love it. Before I send it over today, I want to make sure that you'll be able to watch it tonight so I can introduce you to some friends tomorrow who are crushing it. Does that sound fair? Okay. Another version of this would be the if I would you, which is one that I know traditionally and I've taught and I use. And it is another option that he brought up to share. So it was like, if I sent you the video today, would you watch it tonight so that I can introduce you to friends tomorrow? That's another version. But I love the ending with the question. That's another thing I train. End with a question, end with a shorter question. Does that sound fair? The answer is yes or no. And so the yes means great, go ahead and send it, and we'll set it up tomorrow for the follow-up. Rarely people answer no. I found this to be the case in most cases. Really, they might ghost you, or they'll say, oh, I can't do tonight. Okay, so if that's the case, then just respond, great, okay, when can you watch it for sure? It's just 7 minutes or whatever the length is. And then they'll answer, it says, great. They say like Wednesday, I will send it to you Wednesday. So that's the flow. So you're connecting, having the conversations, asking the questions if they're opening. Before sending the video, have a qualifying question. If they ghost you at this point, it's okay. And the great thing is that sometimes when we're going through this process, if we're not getting the results that we expect, we start to question the process. Is this working as well as it should? Or we question the tool, or maybe even the opportunity that you're with, which typically that's not the case. The process works, the company works, right? Things are working. It's the person who's not ready. Well, how do you determine that? Well, you ask an additional qualifying question. If they ghost you, or at that point, then you know it is not the process, it's the person. It's simply not their time. And so move on to the next person and maybe circle back with this follow-up at a later time. That way you're not sending a video and then asking, okay, have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? Which I don't recommend doing anyway. Have you watched it yet? Have you watched it yet? That can get old and that can feel weird and that can feel salesy. Again, remember, professionals sort, amateurs convince. So that's what makes it really fun. And I think that was it. Basically, the dare is to then integrate this into our system that we're using, right? So we're doing the C's every day. And when we get to that point in the process where we're asking the question, from now on, we're going to integrate it. The dare is for the week. When someone says they are open, then use the script to qualify them. Okay, so that speeds it up. That makes it a lot more fun. I'm excited to introduce this into the system. So far, we'd love to know how you guys are doing, and we'll see you tomorrow.